Welcome everyone to HueFin News. Today is February the 5th, 2019, the home of the 2-minute price prediction, as well as giving you all the news according to the charts. We're going to talk about Aurora Cannabis today. And as you can tell by the thumbnail, we want you to consider this before buying Aurora. Well, at least the author of this article is trying to insinuate to us all. If you guys have been an avid follower of this channel, you already understand that we do not pay attention to articles. We only focus on what we see on the price chart. So by what we read here on this article to the left side of the screen, we want to make sure that it correlates to what we're seeing on the price chart. And in fact, we're going to go ahead and do that now. So if this is your first time, welcome. This is our opportunity to show you that we are giving you all the news according to the charts and not by articles or videos or not by what any other analysts are stating from their perspective, because the truth is already listed on the price chart. So welcome. If this is your first time, make sure that you all go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You will see how easy it is to give you price predictions according to the price bars and the volume. And if you do like that content, make sure that you go ahead and like it and share it as well. So now let's go ahead and get started. Okay, this article was written today, February 5th, 2019, by Sean Williams. The title: If this is Millennials' favorite stock, he feels sorry for them. So this is just something for you all to consider. That's it. Okay, we're going to give you our perspective from the price chart to see if Sean is actually correct in what he is feeling for those who bought Aurora Cannabis. I went ahead and highlighted some of the things that I felt was important that should correlate over to the price chart. But if you all want to read the rest of this article, you all can continue to see the link that's going to be in the description of this video as well. Okay, so, let's get started. Now, back in April 2018, the independent Quinnipiac University conducted a study and found that 63% of respondents favored legalizing pot nationwide. However, support for legalization was just 43% for seniors aged 65 and up, and 63% for those aged 50 to 64. Comparably, 82% of millennials aged 18 to 34 were in favor of legalization. So he's building his premise as to why the millennials are so avid buyers of this particular company, Aurora Cannabis. Some other things I wanted to point out in this article. He goes on to write, here's why millennials are infatuated with Aurora Cannabis. Why Aurora Cannabis? There are literally thousands of cannabis companies out there getting their feet wet in this brand new industry. And he's trying to figure out why in the world would so many people, millennials, be so interested in this one company. So he gives us some points as to why that could be so. So he starts off with stating that Aurora Cannabis is the largest producer of cannabis once it is running on all cylinders. So right now, they're not running on all cylinders. They're not one of the largest producers right now, but it's a plan. And they're forecasted to try to get that completed relatively soon. Currently, they're producing at an annual run rate of 100,000 kilograms a year. The company has suggested that it's capable of producing more than 500,000 kilos at its peak. So they're quite a ways away from that 500,000 kilos at peak, but nevertheless, they are trying to hit that mark to be the largest producer in this cannabis space. Now, the company also looks right for a partnership. Okay, so in September, this is the second thing as to why he thinks millennials are going crazy for Aurora Cannabis. So in September, it was reported that Coca-Cola was in discussion with Aurora to either make an equity investment or forge a joint venture. So a lot of these new companies, especially those located in Canada, have been doing partnerships with other companies like Constellation Brands and Canopy Growth, Afria, and Altria have all made partnership deals in this particular space. So a lot of people, a lot of the millennials may be wondering, okay, why not Aurora Cannabis? It has already been placed out in the media that they have been in talks, but it just hasn't been actually inked and penned yet. So the market continues to show us that that is something as to why people are interested in Aurora Cannabis. The third thing, okay, Aurora Cannabis is trying to have a wide variety of products diversification on its side. They're trying to not just do cannabis, dry cannabis. They're trying to do soft gel capsules. They're trying to do beverages infused with cannabis. And as well, they're trying to come into the United States with the hemp market. So they're trying to be diversified in this new market to make sure that they'll be able to compete with all the other cannabis companies that's going to be created throughout the world. Okay. So now this is where he gets into his perceptions, his thoughts as to why the millennials have chosen Aurora Cannabis poorly. Okay. So this is just his perspective. That's it. Okay. Everyone has their own opinion. This is how he sees it. And we're going to go ahead and talk about that now. So Sean writes, I feel pretty bad for millennials if they're choosing Aurora Cannabis over thousands of other potential investments. Since the beginning of 2018, Aurora Cannabis market cap has increased by a whopping 138%. This is the result of it purchasing CandyMed Therapeutics for $852 million. They also acquired Med Relief for $2.5 billion and buying ICC Labs for $221 million. But the company's share price has declined by 3% over that same time frame. An underperformance of 141 percentage points. How does a gap this large get created? The simple answer is share-based dilution. Aurora Cannabis was only able to acquire those three businesses, CandyMed, Med Relief, and ICC Labs, through the issuance of their own stock. Okay, until recently, Canadian stocks had little to no access to basic banking services, meaning that they couldn't get a loan. They couldn't get a line of credit. They couldn't get any financing from the traditional banking. And when all those avenues are not available to you, you go ahead and you issue your own paper money, which is called stocks or shares in the company. This meant that no non-dilutive forms of financing, such as, like I stated, lines of credit or loans, needing cash to expand their growing capacity and finance their acquisitions, most marijuana stocks turned to the bought deal offerings, meaning that they were issuing their own stock. Aurora Cannabis is not the only one. So this is where common stock, convertible debentures, stock options, and or warrants are sold to raise capital. The good news is that issuing shares has been successful in raising capital for the industry. So it has been positive for them to issue their own stock to the investors to bring in more money so that they can enlarge their capacity of creating more cannabis, so that they can acquire more businesses, so they can do more partnerships. So it has been working. Sean admits to that fact. But the bad news is that it's crushed shareholders, as in evidence in this instance. Because Aurora Cannabis is contending with persistent net cash outflows, meaning that money continues to leave out the company. They're not bringing in inflows. All the cash continues to go out. It's relied on issuing its stock to cover its acquisition, as well as in large part to fund its operational expenses. All of its other big acquisitions have been financed by issuing shares. In less than 5 years, the company's outstanding share count has ballooned from 16 million shares to what will likely be 1 billion plus within the next quarter or two. This type of dilution is killing investor value, and it will have a largely negative impact on earnings per share. So this is the reason why Sean feels bad for the millennials. Because of the major issuance of stock that Aurora Cannabis has been doing, it has allowed the value of each share to become diluted or less powerful or less valuable than what it actually can be. So now, with his idea of Aurora Cannabis being negativity, we're going to look at the price chart to see if in actuality, if the price chart is giving us the same depiction. Okay, so if you all can remember in our video that we've done last for Aurora Cannabis, go back and look at our video feed to see the last time we did Aurora Cannabis. I will have it as an end card for you all so you can find it more conveniently. We told you all that we was looking for Aurora Cannabis to continue its consolidation. We said that that $6 price was support and that $7.50, $8 was resistance. And what do you know? The market is literally coming into a resistance area right now today. Okay. The market did get inundated with some sellers. Okay. The sellers came out in full force today in the market in Aurora Cannabis. But one of the positive things that occurred today in the market was that it came in and held that $7.50 price. That's the only positive thing that I can see right now in the market for Aurora Cannabis. Okay, looking at it on the weekly chart, you can still see here that weakness is coming in. The resistance area is still at $8. So at the conclusion of this week, it should definitely tell you all whether or not Aurora Cannabis has changed its tone from the move that we've seen over the last month and a half to higher prices to one that we're going to start a consolidation and continue to move to the downside. So overall, my analysis has not changed from the last time I did our video for Aurora Cannabis. I'm still looking forward to hold that consolidation. That $8, maybe $8.15 is resistance, and all the way down to $6 would be support. Now I can see it trying to hold $7 as support as well, but considering the fact that we are seeing some sellers enter the market now, tells me, at least in the short term, that the market is not ready to break above $8. Okay, now it can happen at a later time, which you will have to look at the chart on your own. But currently, Aurora Cannabis is showing us some weakness coming into this particular space. So from where we're trading now, yes, I am looking forward to move to the downsides. The market has already came and touched support at $7.50. That's positive. So we can actually break above $8 tomorrow, $8.15 tomorrow. But we need to see a little bit more volume coming into space in order for us to see a substantial movement to the upside. So until then, I am looking for Aurora Cannabis to move to the downside from where it's trading. But again, $7.50 has already held support twice on the 4-hour chart. So this can actually hold that support and move higher. I just want to tell you all that. But my analysis is still reflecting until we're able to break above that resistance area. I'm not expecting Aurora Cannabis to move to the upside. Okay, so as of this particular moment, I am looking for Aurora Cannabis to move lower in price. $7, $6 ultimately will be that consolidational support area for this particular stock. As to what Sean has been writing in his article, I really don't feel the way that he feels, not yet. But it can be a very, very long time to see Aurora Cannabis hold a consolidational period before we see any substantial increase to the upside. So the long-term move for Aurora Cannabis can continue to show us that this stock can just trade literally between $5 and $9 for a very long time. So if you're in the market for Aurora Cannabis, just be prepared for that. This is not trading like Chronos. It is not trading like Alphria. It is not moving in that direction. We're just holding a consolidational period in Aurora Cannabis. So I just want to tell you all that for the long term. Okay, so that's our perspective. This is what the price chart is telling us. Considering what Sean wrote, it can be seen not as a negative, but as a neutral position on the price chart regarding what Sean is saying. Now, he's saying it's a negative thing for millennials to hold on to this particular stock, but the price chart is not reflecting that yet. I'm still seeing it as one of a neutral bias. I'm not seeing it as weak. I'm not seeing it as overly strong. I'm just seeing it as a neutral period right now in the market. Now, as time go on, we would definitely see which one is going to pan out correct, the market participants or Sean. Okay, so keep your eyes open on this particular stock. We probably do a couple more videos later on. Whenever the interest continues to show up, we'll go ahead and produce a video for you all to see what we maintain is what Aurora Cannabis is going to do. Again, we do appreciate you all taking out the opportunity out to watch this video. Make sure you all maintain your profitability, and don't forget to go ahead and subscribe, like, and share this content as well. Make sure you all maintain your profitability, and I will talk to you all later.